All right, you're still watching TVC Breakfast. We now take you to the center of unity where TJ Sade and Shoma Moimodu are standing by for the FCT brief. Good morning, Abuja. Inakwana, over to you.
Thank you, Ria. Another beautiful Tuesday morning here in the nation's capital city. Now, of course, we have a lot in store for you, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Nigerians, and it's good to be here on a Tuesday morning. And congratulations for the recognition of TVC Breakfast Show in the way we're covering the cancer stories.
All right.
I think it's a good
one for us. That's a positive one for us.
Exactly.
Well, let's jump into what we have for you today. Good morning and welcome to FCT Brief. Today we focus on developing corporate and property disputes with significant legal and regulatory implications. The River Park Estate controversy has taken a new turn as JonahCapital Nigeria Limited alleges that the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, altered the company's shareholding structure without due process, an accusation that raises serious questions about corporate governance, transparency, and investor protection in Nigeria.
As the dispute unfolds, stakeholders are watching closely to see how the issues surrounding ownership, regulatory oversight, and accountability will be addressed. Beyond River Park Estate, this case touches on broader concerns about confidence in corporate records, the sanctity of company documentation, and the mechanisms available for redress when disputes arise. To take this conversation further, we are joined this morning by Kojo Mensah, the Chief Executive Officer of JonahCapital Nigeria Limited. He will be sharing his perspective on the claims against the CAC, the impact on the River Park Estate project, and the way forward. Mr. Mensah, nice to be here this morning.
Thank you.
You're
Good morning.
Good
Thank
morning.
you very much.
Yeah, your companies, JonahCapital and also Houses of Africa, Nigeria Limited, are going through turbulent corporate issues. And just recently at the 95th Council of ECOWAS, the Foreign Minister of Ghana raised a petition that you submitted that your companies, your investment in Nigeria has been threatened, and you cited that the CAC is playing a major role in altering your company share. Help us to understand, how did we get here that you have to escalate to ECOWAS? Is it that you have lost confidence in the business climate and the institutions in Nigeria?
Good morning once again, and thanks for having me. Good morning to your audience. This is a very critical question that you have asked, because the relationship between Ghana and Nigeria is well known to be a very friendly and brotherly one. This issue is nothing beyond a corporate dispute between two parties claiming ownership of a company. And due process has been established, and all those things. Regulatory bodies are supposed to play their role. But what we have seen here now is where there's a hostile takeover using the Corporate Affairs Commission without following due process, under the leadership of Magaji, SAN, where shares of our company has been expropriated, taken from us, essentially. Directors removed, corporate affairs documents expunged completely to our detriment. And given the, what ECOWAS is trying to achieve between in the sub-region of enhancing trade, such a precedent does not augur well for what ECOWAS is trying to achieve. So we petitioned our government, because we petitioned several institutions. The Attorney General's office is reviewing the matter. The matter is seized in courts. And we petitioned our government for intervention and protection. And I know our government has also tried to take steps to get this to be addressed. And we've gotten to the point where the government had to escalate it to ECOWAS. It's rather unfortunate that something that could have been handled at this level has degenerated to the point where now ECOWAS is being invited into nothing beyond a corporate dispute.
Let's take a look at the case. You are accusing the Corporate Affairs Commission of altering official share records.
Absolutely.
Now, what verifiable certified documents do you have that clearly establish both the original and the alleged altered shareholding structure? And again, can you point to the exact statutory procedure under the Company and Allied Matters Act that you believe the CSC violated in this case?
Okay, thank you. Firstly, I've been running JonahCapital Houses for Africa since 2012. I've been the chief executive of the company. I've been doing the annual filings for the company since 2013. So obviously, by CSC's own actions, if a company had been dormant, by now, that company would have been expunged from CSC records. So let's keep that as a foundation of who has kept the company active. I have all documentation, mostly email documentation and records of all the activities of the board and former directors and shareholders in the company. We have all that. I have the status report of the company as at November 30th, which shows the true standing of the company. See, when this matter degenerated, which started from encroachment of our assets, where we reported to the police, it then went to the Attorney General, and the Honorable Minister of the FCT set up a committee to look into the matters regarding River Park. And somewhere in August, when the committee concluded, a committee of about 10 people or so, when they concluded their work, I'm sure you all heard the FCT minister on TV stating that the only party that was recognized was JonahCapital, which is the allotee of the development lease agreement. Now, the FCT minister went on to state who the owners of JonahCapital, who is Samuel Jonah, my principal. Just after the FCT minister made his pronouncement, a party from nowhere went to sue the FCT minister with JonahCapital Nigeria Limited, which I am the chief executive of. We then wrote to the FCT minister that we are not aware of who these individuals are. And then we entered, our lawyers also entered appearance in court. That is when we got hint that certain activities are being done in the CAC to alter the shareholding structure to give locus to the people who are trying to sue the FCT minister using JonahCapital, because the FCT minister has said that the only party they recognize on the DLA is JonahCapital. We got hint that because there was a subsisting court matter where the adverse claimant has sued us that they are owners of the company. We went to check on the matter in court and realized that the case had been discontinued. We then filed a case against the CSC because we had gotten hint of what Magaji and his people were trying to do. And the Magaji was served of the court summons on the 28th of November. Prior to that, the Attorney General's office had written to him on the 25th of September that the AGF is reviewing all the matters, including the police investigation. So specifically stated that a caveat should be placed on the records of the company. On December 1st, he called for a meeting. In the meeting, our lawyers showed up. So it's a blatant lie that Magaji is claiming that he called for a meeting and we didn't show up. No, my lawyers were there. The AGF sent a representative to that meeting and reminded him that the AGF is seized with the matter.
So I'd like to ask Mr. Mensah.
If you'd allow me to conclude, please.
All right,
if you allow me to conclude. Now, after this meeting, with full knowledge that the matter is in court and the AGF is seized with the matter, on the 8th of December, we wake up and Magaji has expunged all the records, expunged all the critical records, including director filings. I mean, what is the need for this indecent haste?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, because these records that you claim have been erased, were they just erased from the CAC's database, or there were physical filings to that effect?
Thankfully, as I mentioned, I've been CEO of the company since 2012. So I have CAC certified documents from all the documents he has expunged, including some of the directors who resigned, Olakitan Ogunmuya and her husband, who resigned in 2009. I came to Nigeria in 2011 and being accused of forging documents that were created in 2009. However, he did not invite the people who filed those documents, Barrister Hussein Hassan and all the other barristers whose name, because all those times filings were done by paper records, their NBA numbers, their phone numbers on the records. He sat in his office, became a court, a judge, executioner, an enforcer, and took this arbitrary action against our company.
All right, we'll come back to this shortly, but that'll be right after this short break. Don't go anywhere. We still have more on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. Now we are still dissecting the issue of the River Park Estate dispute between the CAC and JonahCapital.
According to this, the CAC say they took some of those steps because they have the authority to correct filings and also protect the sanctity of companies. Now, if you look at the CAMA, CAC also need to play a role. So you question in the role CAC is playing, because some people allege that you forged their signatures, and those who allege, what was the business relationship like? Was it a business relationship that went sour, or they were not even part of it? Did you have any relationship with them before it got to this point where an allegation of you forging signatures to impose yourself as owners of this company?
The CAC throws out an omnibus clause that it is lawfully empowered to immediately correct any records to be found to be illegally procured or fraudulently procured. The CAC is an administrative body. It is not an investigative body. It is not a court. It's not an a CAC acts on board resolutions and court pronouncements. If the CAC has determined that there's fraud, the best place to establish fraud is the court. Even the police can only make findings of fraud, but it has to be proven in court. So if the CAC says that we have determined that there's fraud, take it to court and test it, especially when the CAC is being headed by somebody who's supposed to be a senior advocate of Nigeria. You should know this. Especially when we have sued you to court, knowing your action and calling your conduct into question, and you've been served, that gives you an opportunity to come and establish the fraud that you are talking about. The CAC did not even make an appearance in court when the case was called. Now, on the second question that you asked, if there was a business partnership in place, yes. And those are the matters in court. Those are the matters which, if I should go into, will be sub judice. So I would want to stay away from those ones. But those are the things that the CAC is trying to tie the hands of the court by its actions of expunging public records. My brother, if the two of us have a business and one of us is alleging that the person has misappropriated funds, and you take me to court or take me to police, report me, and then all of a sudden the bank manager goes in and clears the bank records, how does that affect your case? Is that due process? Is that not abuse of office? Is that not abuse of fundamental human rights?
But Mr. Mensah, is it possible that what you're interpreting as a record alteration and being erased was just actually an administrative recognition of an already existing transaction?
He is alleging fraud.
Okay.
He says that in his disclaimer he put out there, he said that fraudulent filings has been established.
And has any of these agencies like the DSS, the EFCC, ICPC, have they been petitioned?
The IG, the Attorney General of the Federation, wrote him that he is investigating the matter, so he should place a caveat on the file. He is tying the Attorney General's hands.
Was it after the correspondence from the AGF?
It was before. The AGF wrote him on the 25th of September. He is preempting the actions of the AGF. What is the need for the indecent haste? I'm from Ghana. If I have committed a crime, I would have gone to my country, but I'm here to fight. I am here to make sure that the right thing is done. Look, today, he's doing it to me. If under this omnibus misinterpreted clause, it means that everybody is at risk. The CAC can wake up tomorrow and say, without any iota of evidence, that, oh, your filings are fraudulent. My brother, I have been filing and paying annual filings for this company since 2012. I've been paying PENCOM. I've been paying VAT. I've employed Nigerians since 2012. Where were these people?
Now, the case that is in court, now that you have petitioned ECOWAS and petitioned your foreign ministry and they've raised it up at ECOWAS, do you still believe in the case in court that whichever way it flows to, you will abide by the ruling of the courts?
I have submitted...
Because the bias you're raising is an allegation of bias.
I have thrown myself at the mercy of the courts for the right thing to be done. I'm not here asking for favors. I don't need anybody to do me favors. I'm not asking for CAC to do me favors. But my brother, what the CAC boss Magaji is corporate espionage. He has taken the shares of a private company away without due process. It's a crime.
So, if I may ask, what is the JonahCapital company now looking forward to as the outcome of this case? Are you looking forward to a reversal of the records or prosecution of the officials or compensation?
My sister, firstly, the right thing must be done. Not by my account, not by anybody's account, but by what the law permits in cases like this. I am not here to say I've done this or I haven't done what whoever is claiming. Prove it. Prove it. Go to court. If the CAC is saying that it has detected fraud against me, take it to court. If the court pronounces that my company should be taken away from me and given to whoever, that if I'm not satisfied with it, I will appeal. But until that is done, I'm not going to allow anybody to hide behind a corporate administrative body to fraudulently wrest from us something that we have built, something that we have invested. Look, the president of this country is going around the world calling investors to come to Nigeria and invest. And this man is the person who is protecting such sensitive documents. And he can act with such arbitrariness. Do you honestly think that this gives confidence to investor community? If somebody from Ghana cannot come to do business in Nigeria and feel safe, would you expect somebody to come from America to come and do business? And what kind of message are we sending here? What kind of message are we sending here that a CAC, I've never seen anything, I'm just baffled, it just beats my human comprehension, that a CAC administrative body can just alter shares from his office. My goodness. Are we safe?
So as it stands now, going by what you are alleging that documents have been altered in favor of the other group, who is in charge of JonahCapital now?
Well, that's a very good question. As soon as the CAC Magaji did what he did, they quickly took the procured status report to our banks.
You said they would?
The adverse party took the procured status report to our banks asking for closure of account. Do you know, funny thing is that I have the bank statement here, and I will publish all these documents at some point, where we have been making payments from that company to those adverse parties when, at the time when business was good, they have been making payments into that account. Nobody cried foul at that time. But it's only after the FCT minister says that this is the true state of this River Park estate. Now, the account should be closed. Do you know what? That means they want to tamper with our evidence. They want to tamper with our records. And they are using the documents that they have procured from CAC to do that.
All right. You mentioned investor confidence while you were speaking. This matter potentially discouraging potential investors. Now, I want to know the impact it has already had on existing investors, homeowners, and third-party buyers from River Park Estate.
Look, I wish you would take your cameras and interview people who are living in an estate and there's so much uncertainty, all this noise going around. I mean, if even this matter is resolved, I don't know how my business will be able to thrive because of the torturous interference by this gentleman and the toxic environment that has been created for us. You understand? I mean, it is gotten to the point where you are now even fighting for your fundamental human rights, not just even the company, but you're fighting for the fundamental human rights, for your voice to be heard, for your rights to be respected. And that is where we are. And if, look, there are people out there who have also been victims of actions of this gentleman. That's not why I'm here.
Okay, Mr. Mensah, going forward, do you think it's only the court intervention that can help restore the investors' confidence, or you think there should be an administrative intervention? Because you also cited the involvement of the FCT minister. Probably they're also alleging that the FCT minister didn't follow due process before he came out to say it is JonahCapital and it's owned by you. So do you think an administrative intervention will help resolve? Because it has not. I think it has not gotten to the point where it is bad business between Ghana and Nigeria.
Well, I hope so that it would never get to that point, because look, Ghana and Nigeria, our relationship is bound strongly that we should not allow such pettiness to get to that. Most of my best friends are Nigerians and stuff like that. So we will never, I pray that we'll never get there. It's just about asserting our rights and all that. Look, the Constitution of Nigeria makes provisions for the role of courts. And the court is the arbiter of disputes. And that must be respected. Besides that, administrative bodies must also operate within their mandate of supporting the agenda of the president to make Nigeria an environment for investment. Certain actions have rippling effects that people before and outside are watching. The president is busy seeking investment to come to Nigeria. So it is up to everybody. Look, Martin Luther King said that in the end, it's not the voices of our enemies that we'll remember, but the silence of our friends. People must advocate for the right thing to be done. When businesses come to Nigeria from foreign lands to come and do business, they come to do business with citizens, mostly. So citizens' voices must be heard and respected. It's up to all of us to make sure that such acts are condemned. Look, if a crime, look, in my country, Ghana, if you commit a crime, it's not your nationality, whether you are Nigerian, whether you are Ghanaian, you would be prosecuted according to the law. If I have committed a crime, let the law take its course. But let not an administrative body assume powers that it does not have, and hide behind cronies and act as court, act as jury, and act as executor.
Peradventure, if CAC and the other party reaches out to you for an out-of-court settlement, is there room for that? Or you want this to be settled strictly in court?
Why would CAC reach out to me for out-of-court settlement? It's like you've come to my house, you've taken my wife and children, and they are living in your house, and you come to my house with your elders that we should settle. Meanwhile, my wife and children are in your house. this is not about me. This is about due process. I don't need the CAC to sit down with me to say, settle what? Do the right thing. There are supervisory agencies over CAC. There's Nigeria Investment Promotion Council. There's the Minister of Trade. There are agencies and supervisory institutions, even the presidency, that oversee the acts of the CAC. He should be called to order.
Have you petitioned the Minister of Trade?
Yes, we have petitioned the Minister of Trade. I understand that she had traveled, so we haven't heard from her yet. I am certain that the Ghana Ministry of Foreign Affairs will also reach out, and I'm certain the Ghana High Commission will also reach out. But the right thing, we are not asking for anything to be handed over to us in none of our pleadings. Our prayer is that the right thing must be done. Due process must be followed. Fraud is proved in court, not in administrative boardrooms.
Okay, so we know about litigation and court cases dragging for years. If this eventually happens, what impact will it have on buyers that were just caught in the crossfire?
That is what the FCT minister was trying to fix. The FCT minister, even during his visit to River Park, said that he was going to make sure that homeowners are not impacted, and that JonahCapital, which we have started the exercise, should present the list of subscribers so that they will be given their COOs and ROVs directly. All these activities is what led to these people trying to, claim that they are JonahCapital so that they can obstruct the actions that the FCT minister was taking. So, to answer your question, there are impacts that residents and homeowners are facing, and actions are being taken by the relevant agency, in this case, the Minister of FCT, to fix it. But on the one hand, other administrative institutions are trying to fight him and prevent him from doing what is right.
All right. We must say that's a fine place to leave the conversation. We must say thank you so much for your contributions on the program, and we do hope that this matter is settled amicably in the interest of those investors involved.
I'm doing business.
Yeah, and doing business in Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
That's where we'll leave our conversation today. We are glad you could be a part of it. We'll now hand you over to Lagos, where Ria and the rest of the team are standing by to continue with the rest of the show.
Right here standing by. Thank you so much, Tijeshu and Eshamamo, for that very, very lovely conversation. Thank you.